So I think sometimes these can be as important or even more important than the physical factors. So typically as we experience pain, whether it be in our knee or our back, there's lots of things that can affect that perception or feeling of pain. That can be things like, our level of rest and recovery, but also our psychological status, or if we're worried or concerned about it, if we're maybe low mood at the moment, if we're anxious for any reason. All of these things will feed into that feeling of pain. And I've had patellofemoral pain myself. I've worked with a lot of athletes and people who've had patellofemoral pain. We often see that that worry starts to spike as we get that pain. We start to think, oh, I'm not going to be able to complete that event that I've planned, or each time I'm going up and down stairs, it's coming back into our head, and we start to worry about it. And one thing that's really important to note with patellofemoral pain is that as we do more exercise, or as we start to feel more pain, it's not necessarily, and most of the time, it's not doing more damage. So it's actually a response in our body to try and protect our knee that's not very helpful sometimes. So we have to challenge that and push through it a little bit. So again, just to reiterate, that pain doesn't necessarily mean damage. And so working through it gradually over time, starting to load our knee in a progressive way, managing some of the other factors like our stress, our sleep, our nutrition, can all be a really helpful way of getting us back to doing what we want to do and what we love doing. And so another important thing is to realise that sometimes it's okay to have a level of pain, or to do some exercise through pain, once you're confident and comfortable with that, and you've worked through that with your physiotherapist or your health professional as well. And then the other side of it is things like the anxiety, the worry. So they can be related to your pain, but they might be, related to other things in your life as well. And it is always really important to chat to someone, speak to someone about those if you do feel that they're having a big impact on your overall general health and well-being, or in your pain as well. One other important aspect is that pain is something that we can learn to manage, and we can develop skills to cope with. So I think sometimes we get very afraid or worried, and it can be quite a negative thing that comes into our lives, and obviously it's not something that we look for. But actually we can develop coping skills, we can learn a bit about ourselves, we can learn a bit about pain throughout the process as well. So picking up some of those like self-monitoring skills, so understanding maybe what brings on your pain, what reduces it, can be really helpful. What works for you in terms of a pain management plan, what to do during a flare-up, maybe what pain is acceptable or okay for you, and what pain is unacceptable. These are all things we learn, we can get better at over time.